Hello, welcome to another installment of Temples of Turmoil, and today you just saw me get kind of smacked right there, but no, really, we're gonna go on to the 8th and final temple. I'm just gonna tank it. Let's go! So the requirement to get past here is to have the silver arrows. On the way to the 8th temple, Top Kirby gives you a free heart container, because you're going to need it. And I kind of got smacked around right there. I'm going to do some shopping real quick. There's 2 required items that you just have to have before you enter this level. That's 1, the Master Sword. You cannot enter the dungeon without the Master Sword. And 2, the Rook's Feather. You can't pass a certain part without the Rook's Feather. And I don't have enough for Nehru's Love. These guys are kind of annoying, so I'm gonna kill those guys and just leave. There's one other item that I'm gonna get. It's a bit overpowered, and it's gonna make the game significantly easier. And it's going to be this heart ring right there. Now, I didn't get the other 2 heart rings because they healed pretty slow, and plus I was going to get this one anyways. Look at my hearts. As you can see, I slowly heal. It makes things much easier. So there's a little bombable wall here. And he just says he's eating the other. So he's gonna eat that glass bottle of potion. So like the glass is gonna destroy his insides, but the healing potion is gonna heal his insides. So I think that guy should be okay. So anyways, you gotta jump down here. And I'm in the Dragon Cave. You don't get anything for killing all the enemies in here, so just kill the ones that get in your way. Go on this wall and go in that cave. So she just tells me I get the master key, and she tells me to go east, north, northwest. You have to go those directions to enter. It's funny, you can't jump over the water. I understand that's how Kirby set the program. But you can jump over enemies, which is quite powerful. I call this area Dinosaur Land just because it's got this sort of jungly theme, and I associate it with dinosaurs. So yeah, this is what you need Rook's Feather for. You have to jump over those pits. Oh. Okay. So these other areas don't have any secrets. I'm just going through these areas just to get the screen exploration complete. I think this is a pretty cool looking area. I do have one slight criticism, and it's kind of slight. Okay. So you see how I can walk under these pillars right here? But you can't walk under these tiles right there, those pillars. I can walk under the horizontal pillars, but not the vertical pillars. Which is kind of weird, because if the horizontal pillars are on the ground, to me it just seems kind of weird that you can walk over the vertical ones. Except if they're... I'm assuming that Kirby meant for these to be like walls. But anyways, that's just a little tiny right. I like the look of this entrance. And now we're in the Dragon Temple. This is where all the dragons live, and I literally mean all the dragons of Hyrule live here. They were born, raised here. Some of them went out and ventured in the real world, but this is where they were born and raised, right here. And these are like the baby dragons. I don't think I have to push any blocks here. So I killed some baby dragons. And then we're gonna go and kill the granddaddy of all the dragons. You aren't dragons. You don't belong here. You die. So yeah, this temple will also give me a lot of money. And I will go on a super shopping spree when I'm done. That's my amulet. I don't know what it does in this game. It's supposed to let you see invisible enemies, but enemies are still invisible in this game, so it's useless. And Top Kirby put a lot of invisible enemies in this dungeon. So those are dragonfish. That's what I'm gonna call them. So Top Kirby has a habit of putting the necessary items that you need on the left side of the dungeon first. You know, he's done this for multiple dungeons, so if you've caught onto that pattern, then you just go left first, and I'm gonna know 100% for sure I'm gonna get the item I need. Just watch me. I'm gonna be right. Now, there's a lot of rooms that you really don't have to explore in this dungeon. Oh yeah, this is one of those rooms with those invisible enemies. Got a little bit of revisit from the 4th boss, but these guys aren't near as threatening now. With the red tunic, with the master sword. I'll make short work of these guys. Even without the heart ring, these guys aren't a threat. And then there's this room. Now, did you see those little coin things? They're probably they're a really mean enemy because they take your money, and taking your money is kind of mean. So you see me putting Rook's Feather to good use here. I love Rook's Feather. It's such a mean item. It's unfair to the enemies. But with that said, while the Rook's Feather is mean to the enemies, I feel as a designer, it kind of gives you the excuse to, not excuse, but I feel allows you to put the player in more unfair situations, because you can just jump over the enemies. Oh, for a second I was thinking I had the Rook's Feather equipped. What would be a real cool future for Zelda Classic, and I mean real cool future, is instead of just being limited to A and B buttons, you know, like in Zelda 64, Ocarina of Time was the first Zelda game that let you have 3 sub-items equipped at the same time. That would be cool if Zelda Classic allowed the same thing. Allowed me to have 3 sub-items equipped at the same time. This room, we are introduced to a new enemy. The Invisible Robes. And I think I took care of them. I'll let you see what they look like. If we find one. There he is. Quite an annoying little bugger. I think they're slightly stronger than Wizrobe 2s as well. So, Kirby likes to put secrets behind waterfalls. And we got our first little boss. This is the Dragon Patra. So yeah, as I kind of complained, this isn't Kirby's fault or anything, but this is just the Zelda Classic's fault. Patras, at the beginning of the battle, can be a little bit dangerous because you don't really know where they're going to go. And this Patra kind of covers a pretty wide area. I actually don't like fighting the BS type Patras. That's when the Patra in the middle is really large, because I feel they take up a lot more space than other Patras. Even the wide circle Patras, because when the wide circle Patras, even though when they go in the wide circle they cover a wider area, they overall cover a smaller radius. And I feel they're easier to avoid overall, whereas the BS Patra always covers a wide area, so it's easier to get trapped in the corner Well, overall, I'm doing pretty good this battle. I'm not really getting hurt. This last circle, that last little eyeball thing's pretty annoying. But he shall go down for the count, and he's dead. We're just gonna say that Metroids have dragon blood in them to fit with the dragon theme. Yeah, Metroids have dragon blood. That's why they're so powerful in the Metroid universe. I'm gonna get that bomb after I get out. See, isn't that super bomb bag really awesome? You know, how many quest designers allow you to carry 72 bombs? I mean, seriously. I can carry up to 99. Well, what you just saw me got was bracers too, so now I'm even more strong. And I'm only going to use it. There's only 2 places in the game that I'm going to use it, and this room is one of them. The other one will help me go to the final area of the game. Hey! I didn't say you could run away from me. Okay. Is to go in here, and it will let me get an overpowered item, the golden arrows, one of the most powerful items in Zelda Classic history. Because it not only does massive sword damage, but pierces enemies. And that's another gimmick that the Kirby added to the Master Sword, and I kind of appeared on that block and shouldn't, is the sword beams with the Master Sword pierce through enemies like the golden arrows. So that's pretty cool. Having the Master Sword pierce through enemies isn't overpowered because your sword beams go away. But I'll demonstrate the power of the golden arrow here. Look at that. I just killed all of those enemies, like in one hit. Look at that. The power is mine. Go away. So I do want my map, so I'm gonna go in here and get my map. Luckily, there's bubbles in here, so those Agoria 3s don't just appear. Actually, and we're gonna kill the dragonfish. I'm gonna call them dragonfish. I know they have different names, but I'm gonna call them dragonfish because I think that's a fitting name for these guys. So let's use some golden arrow power. I know I want to save money, but it's okay to spend a little money. Get me my key, not my key, my map. So as I predicted, or already knew, so here's an interesting way of fighting these guys. I can kind of, nah, that's not gonna work. I just have to tank things, but that guy's pretty easy. There is one criticism in this game, and I do kind of agree with these critics, is this game kind of turns into a tank fest toward the end of the game. And as you can see, and you'll see in the future that some scenarios that I get put in, I just have no choice but to tank the enemy hits and beat them as quickly as possible before I take too much damage. And well, it's one way to implement difficulty. I don't feel it's the best way to incorporate difficulty in a video game, but it's just a small rant, nothing groundbreaking or anything. So, Aqua Mantises are a type of dragon, so it's just a reason to put them in the Dragon Temple. This battle's significantly easier now. There's no conveyor belts, so I can just kind of sit down, relax, and show these guys who's boss. This room's the unfair room. I'm gonna try and not get hit. So, I didn't lose too many hearts in this room, so I think I did pretty good for what I had. I'm gonna just kill these guys with the fire boomerang. Like this. And then I get my compass. Yeah. I never have to go in this room ever again. I think. Oh yeah, there's bat ropes in this room. But so you want to try and kill the bat ropes as soon as possible. Luckily, I didn't get my shield eaten. I have the Master Sword, so likes aren't too bad. And these bats aren't too bad since I have the Master Sword. Master Sword makes things a lot more pleasant. It makes you the master of the enemies instead of the enemies becoming the master of you. This room? Ah, I wasn't standing clear enough in the door. Okay, I want to switch to my Rook's Feather, because I don't want to be completely cheap and hang by the door. You know, I lost a lot of rupees there. These enemies are just mean. Ah, I have a bad habit of clicking on my mouse. So yeah, that fishy guy I wanted to stun, but instead I hit him with the tail end of my fire boomerang. That's the only major weakness of that fire boomerang. It's just a little fire trail. Kinda sucks, actually. If you get rid of that fire trail, it's a neat effect, but oh yeah, there's invisible enemies in here. So, and invisible enemies are an interesting idea, but at the same time, they're kinda cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. But I came in here just to get some money. This room's absolutely pointless to go in. There's quite a few pointless rooms in this dungeon. And there's no real purpose to killing all these bats. They don't give you anything. So we got a new enemy, and that's those black dark nuts. They're like a hybrid of Death Knight and splitting dark nuts. And I'm just keeping that Wizrobe under control as I control these dark nuts. I kill them, so my life is now easier. That guy Wizrobe, dark nuts on the top, so he's like no threat to me. And dark nuts are really good about giving hit points. So as long as you play it safe, you can refill your life without much difficulty. I'm just gonna go to my map. Yeah, I explored the room to the right. That was that Aqua Mentis. Not to my right. The Aqua Mentis room is to my left. So, that Aqua Mentis room, you don't even have to go in at all, but I just went in just to get exploration. Oh, I don't have to bomb these. So we get our Fire Goma. We're gonna call him the Dragon Goma. It's to fit with the theme of the Dragon Temple. It's an unusual breed of dragon, because it's a subspecies of the Goma, but it has dragon DNA. You know, Ganon does these experiments on creatures to enhance their battle capabilities. But Ganon's not one to experiment. Maybe it's the evil force that he's been teaming up with. And that explains a lot to me. Ah. So Wizrobes, you have to fight with a lot of patience. You can't just go in and, you know, hope that just because you stun one, the other one's going to be easy. Because they can assassinate you pretty easy. In fact, I got hit when I shouldn't have, because I kind of went for an attack. Anyways. I wanted to try and be cool and kill that bat while I held up the item, because it's really cool when you do that. Anyways, I think... Nope, that's a bombable wall. I don't care. So check this out. Boom! Power! Let's see. As you can see, I explored an even amount of rooms. This is just a shortcut back to the beginning of the dungeon. You can tell I did a little playthrough of this dungeon first. This dungeon's rather large. I wanted to make sure I know where I was going before I display, otherwise I'd get lost. Because I get lost pretty easy. So this is an example of an unfair battle, but it becomes pretty fun with the Rook's Feather. I mean, you don't have to fight them this way. In fact, you could be really cheap and fight hiding behind the door. But I like fighting these guys like this. The battle becomes more complicated as you split them, because even though the blue dark nuts are less dangerous and can die more easily, there's more dark nuts on the screen now. Ah, he changed his mind. It's pretty mean when the enemy just decides to change their mind in the last moment. But now these guys are just Darknet 2, so they're rather slow and easy. So I'm going to switch to my hammer and just finish them. So this is an example of a room that I have a lot of fun. I utilized multiple items, and I think I only got hit 4 times in that room, which isn't too bad, but I think I could have done better. I think the entrance to this room's kind of mean. Just putting you in the action right there. I think you can stun the Invisible Rogues. But I don't want to spend all day just looking for them. Maybe you can't stun them. I'm not too sure how Kirby programmed to customize these guys. But I killed him. He's dead. I don't have to worry about him. So here's Tank Fest. Tank! Tank, 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 tank. I think the fire wizards are probably the meanest enemies, because they just kind of walk into you in this room. They do what they want. But I killed these enemies, fought too big of a deal. Although that guy is being stubborn. That's why I killed him. I get some money. Give me some money. So there's 2 ways I can go in this area. And I'm gonna, just for LP completion and full exploration, I'm gonna go left. The left is stupid because it just takes you back to the beginning of the dungeon. I'll be honest, I don't really like it when games do that. They just take you back to the beginning of the dungeon after making it so far. I don't mind putting the enemy through despair, but I'm not really in despair right now. I'm just, I wonder. Yeah, you have to go down. That door stays shut. It's like, ha 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 ha, you can't get out. I think Kirby needs to make that door open. I'm just complaining, because even though I didn't have to do that, I wanted just to show you what's up. But hey, there's one plus. I get to do that Darknet battle all over again. So let's see if I can do better now. So okay, let's do this. Oh, I was stuck in the door. Okay. I'm gonna use a different strategy. I'm gonna try and take out the blue guys, because these are adding enemies to the screen. And by adding enemies to the screen, it just makes it harder for me to avoid them. Oh, see? The blue Darknets are pretty mean. They like to change your mind, even though they do very little damage to you at this point of the game. Oh, got hit twice by the blue Darknet. That should be okay to use my hammer now. Oh, See, that's called being careless. But hey, I did a little bit better. 3 hits instead of 4. I think I'm capable of doing a flawless victory in this room. But that's just what I think. But Dark Knights are pretty good about giving life, so we're gonna say that if I didn't have the heart ring, that I would have gained hearts instead of lost hearts in that room. But luckily, it doesn't take too long to get to that one room that sent me back to the beginning of the dungeon, because I'm here. And luckily there's bubbles, so those other enemies don't return. So these next few rooms are quite... Ah! I want to kill the coin guy. This is sort of an example of a tank room. I think I just killed an Abysso rogue. Nope. I don't know if I killed that Abysso rogue. But that Abysso rogue's making work of me. Okay, I'm gonna kill you. You're annoying. Go. Come here. Come here. Die. You're hard to see. There we go. I killed you. There you go. Now, I can stay in my safe area. You gotta watch out when these guys split, because sometimes they do that. Luckily, the blue guy walked on me instead of the yellow guy. So, and with that and a combination of my heart ring, I didn't take too much damage in there, but you can get hurt pretty bad in there. I'm gonna use my sword beam to make short work of these guys. Hey! And with the short work, I'm gonna make these guys. I'm gonna use my Rook's Feather. Oh, I should use my Rook's Feather. You get 20 rupees. Yay! So as I was saying, Redwood Wizrogues tend to be my primary concern, but when you're this strong, you're like nothing. I just kill whatever enemies in my way first. I think the likes are probably more dangerous, even though I can kill them pretty quickly. Whatchamacallit? They can still eat my shield. So this guy, I'm gonna fight differently. I'm gonna manipulate him to that attack and hit him with my sword attack. He's still pretty dangerous. I want him to be up, not down. But his sudden erratic movements, I don't quite understand how to manipulate him to go where I want, and he's just being a little jerk and hanging out on the bottom of the screen. This isn't going how I planned. And I'm getting hurt a lot. There we go. I don't understand how this guy is supposed to move. Yeah. This isn't working out too well for me. I'll just tank him, whatever. That didn't work how I wanted it! Okay. You know, I'm kind of being a little unfair to start this room. Oh, oh, the Metroid got me. Okay, that makes sense. This room is quite dangerous as well. Hopefully I get life back by these dark nuts. Oh my gosh. There we go. I'm kind of cleaning house now. That heart ring's really saving me right now, because I would be in deep doo-doo. I should have fought that Mario 2 enemy, the Fry guy with the arrows, but I want to do something different. Here's another example of tanking, and this guy actually does some serious damage. You want to kill him as soon as possible. You don't want to get hit up and down, you want to get hit left and right. Even though Kirby gave me a ring, not a ring, a fairy in there. Oh, I got invisible robes to worry about now. I'm gonna kill the guys I can see first. Okay, I'm taking some pretty good damage right now. This boss battle is gonna be pretty ridiculous. So I'm gonna do something. It's working out for me. It's working out for me so far. There we go. Unorthodox, but it works. Now, I have a choice. I can either A, go and wait till I heal for my heart ring and fight the boss. B, use a potion. Or C, go for it! So, I will heal a little bit on the way there. Hey! I'm gonna ignore those guys. I'm just gonna go for it. I might die, but let's do this. This guy's pretty scary. So I do know how to manipulate this guy at the beginning. Do this figure 8 thing right there. And that manipulates the first half of this battle. And I'm doing this part pretty... Oh! I thought I was doing it flawlessly, but kinda goofed. It's easy to choke when under pressure. So, it's gonna get him in a better position. I'm gonna attempt to do something different. Do damage to this guy. I want to do as much damage to this guy as possible, because the second form's really scary. And I killed him! So that spinning trick worked quite in my favor. And, yeah. That ends the Dragon Temple. And we will be moving on to the final portions of this game in the next video. So, thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye now.